Hey everybody, it's Tawana here. How are you doing? I am still in Bahuca, Costa Rica for the entire month of September. Almost. I am doing a working vacation in Costa Rica, so that's why I'm coming to you live tonight. And so we're going to give folks a couple of seconds to hop on. Do let me know if you can hear me. Drop a one in the comments if you can actually hear me. Those of you who this is your first time here, well, welcome. And I also want to welcome my LinkedIn audience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are seeing this on Facebook, you too are welcome, as well as of those of you who are seeing this on YouTube. I welcome you. And for those of you that are seeing this on Twitter, you too are welcome. I am Dr. Twanna, and as a career coach, I work with busy women executives struggling with self criticism, imposter syndrome, stress, and anxiety so that they can increase their mental fitness and so that they feel at ease again in their own skins so that they can ultimately enjoy the careers and the lives that they build. So rather than coach on the symptoms, I actually leverage my coaching so that I work with them on the root causes that threaten to sabotage their desired outcomes so that you see immediate results in our work together. So I want to say welcome again. And if you've seen the trailer, you know that tonight I'm talking about the 7 ways to overcome negative thinking and get on the path to success. Why is overcoming negative thinking so important? Because it can be a huge obstacle to your success, right? It can actually lead you to believe that you don't have anything worthy of contributing. You're not going to reach your goals. And even worse, it can cause you to give up before you even start the next journey in your life, right? And there are ways to overcome this kind of type of negative thinking so that you can start taking action towards achieving your goals and reaching success in life and enjoying the success, not just reaching it, but actually enjoying success. So here we go. Number one. First of all, don't be so hard on yourself, right? When you're feeling down, it can be easy to focus on every mistake in life you've ever made, every mistake, every failure, right? You may think that you're a failure because you didn't achieve the goals you set for yourself in a certain amount of time, or if you've made a mistake, like I've done it. I'm gonna be honest here. You accepted the wrong job. It wasn't quite the right fit, but you jumped anyway and took it. So sometimes when you do that, the negative thinking pops in, and it just really kind of ruins things, right? And but this kind of negative thinking, it just makes things worse. So instead, try recognizing the small positives in your life. Like in the example that I took when I took the wrong job and it ended up the energy wasn't right and it's not the right fit. You can start thinking, well, the resume was on point, my interviewing skills were on point. Those are all positive things, right? Look at the things that have gone well recently, or you can look at the progress that you've made, even if it wasn't perfect, because really it was perfect. Nobody, right? Now, if there was something positive to take away from the situation, then count that as a win instead of focusing on what went wrong and this thing over here. Everything else is great, but this one piece, yeah. Don't just focus on that one piece. Look at the whole project, right? And really avoid the what if. What if, what if, what if? No, look at what happened well. Focus it, spotlight on it. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, stop beating yourself up. Sound familiar out there? Anybody out there beats yourself up? Then it's time to stop beating yourself up, right? If you have a negative thought, it's okay to accept it and just let it go. Just because you think it doesn't make it true. Now, I know a lot of folks feel if every thought I have is true, it's got to be true. Not true. Just because you think a thought, thought comes rolling through, doesn't make it true, right? You don't need to continue to travel down the path of self criticism or other types of negativity just because you had some negative thoughts. You don't have to be your own worst enemy. It's okay if you make mistakes. We all do. Everyone makes mistakes. It's how we learn. right? We're all human beings and we have flaws and imperfections. So don't forget that, we're in this all together. We all make our mistakes. That's how we get our experience. And there's always room for improvement. Just because you mess one or two things up doesn't mean there's no room for improvement, right? So that was number two. Number three, don't dwell on the past, right? Focus on the future. Don't worry about what you can't change right here, right now, right? And don't worry about what you can't predict or you can't control, because then that just hikes the anxiety up and those negative thoughts really start to flow, right? It's really not worth your time, effort, or energy to worry about something that's already happened, especially if there was absolutely nothing you could have done to prevent it from happening in the first place. The only thing you can do is learn from it. I teach and I coach my ladies, you know, when something happens, it's either a lesson or it's a blessing. It's the two. You either learn from it or it's a blessing, right? So learn from it and move forward. Or of course, if it's a blessing, revel in it, celebrate it, and then move on, right? And so don't always worry about what you don't know either, because you don't know everything. I get tickled sometimes when I tell folks that I'm a doctor, I have a PhD, because they go, "Oh, you stuck up people think you know everything." Those of us with the PhD understand you can't know everything. You can't spend 5 to 7 years on a PhD and know everything there is to know in the world. It's impossible. No one's going to ever know everything in the world. So don't sweat the small stuff. You make a mistake, you don't know something, don't sweat it. You can go research it. YouTube is my best friend. No need to stress out about what you don't know. You can ask someone, or you can go research it, or YouTube it, and you no doubt will find it, because you're never going to know everything in the world. It's simply impossible. So no, we all PhDs don't think we know everything, because we understand you can't. It's a thin slice that we know about, and everything else we have to do like anyone else, further researching and learning, right? So number four, stay focused on now, the present, like right now, where you are right now. One of with my clients, I often demonstrate this is the now. Okay, live here. When you try to live here and something hasn't happened, that causes anxiety. When you try to live here or ruminate over what's already happened, that causes depression. So you want to be right there in the middle. Live now in the present, in the focus, right? So one of the best ways to overcome negative thinking is to focus on the now. What's happening right now in this present moment? You can't change the past. You can't even control what's going to happen in the future, because, well, it hasn't happened yet. So why waste that time, effort, and energy on being the negative thoughts about the future? It's not there. Or even negative thoughts on what happened in the past, because, well, you can't change it. Okay? Really try to look at and focus on being grateful for everything you have in this present moment: your health, your family, your friends, and some of the things you have. If you're like me, you're trying to get rid of some of that stuff because now you understand it's not necessary. I think that's what happened to many of us during the pandemic, but that's okay, right? If something isn't working out for you in your business or your life as a whole right now, there are always things that aren't working out for anybody, right? For anybody, but it may. But live in the present right now so that you're not worrying about something that isn't to come or that's happened in the past, right? And think about it this way: if worrying actually solved all problems, we would all be problem free. There'd be no stress. Worrying doesn't help. Negative thoughts doesn't help either. Okay. So let's move down to number five. This is so important. Create a support system of positive people, right? So that person that gives you the stink eye in the office every time you do something good or you come in looking a certain way, he or she is giving you the stink eye, not, and you should not be in your support system. You need to drop them and let them go, right? Drop them and let them go. Not only do you need to surround yourself with positive people, but pluck up the ones that are negative and let them go. Now, sometimes you can't like divorce and get rid of them, right? But I call it make your tracks small around them. You don't have to spend as much time, because we can't always just get rid of negative people. Sometimes you want to, but I get it when you can't, right? Create that support of positive people. It's important to surround yourself with people who are encouraging, they're inspiring, they're supportive, they're motivating, they're understanding, so that you can get through rough times and get through those negative thoughts while maintaining your motivation, right? Find those family, find those friends and those family members or coworkers who are gonna be there for you when times get tough. Not for that. That's what you get. You should have not done. You shouldn't have been there. You thought you was gonna get that done. Oh no, you're that person. Like no, that's not a support system. And I get it. I've had clients who told me I don't have a support system, right? But that's why they came to me as a coach. Part of the reason why they came to me as a coach. Start there. Start with a mentor. Start with a sponsor. Start with a coach. Build and create a supportive support system. I can't tell you how important that is, right? And don't forget about the importance of your pet. Because guess what? Your pet will love you unconditionally no matter what you do or what you don't do. That pet's going to be there to love you so your pet can be a part of your support system, right? And we already talked about get rid of the negative people. Negative influences drain you mentally. It drains all of us mentally and physically over time. And when you get that physical draining and that mental draining, that's really when those negative thoughts start to hit like bam, 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 and they start to land and you start to believe them, right? And sometimes you can even feel hopeless about accomplishing your goals or really that you're worthless. So you do want to get rid of the negative thoughts. Don't let anybody bring down your enthusiasm for success by discouraging you from pursuing your goals. People will. They'll do it because of their own insecurities, but they will push it off on you, which then increases your negative thoughts. Right? So number seven, if you've been I think I skipped one. I'm sorry. That was four. This is five, six. I got ahead of myself. But the next one is get plenty of rest to stay healthy and positive. Know that sleep is important for your physical health and it's also important for your mental health. When we're in deep sleep, delta, right? That's when your brain is getting rid of stuff that you don't need and you get that space back that was, all clogged with the things you didn't need. But it can help you be more creative. Sleep deprivation really can lead to depression and it can make you feel very irritable and anxious. And then it opens up for those negative thoughts to start landing, right? So most of us are going to need somewhere between 7 and 9 hours. And there are those people out there whose body will only need five or six. They're few and far in between, but it happens, right? But sleep hygiene really, set a routine for how you go to sleep and get a good night's rest, right? And so it's like setting a regular bedtime, avoiding caffeine, not exercising too close to your bedtime. Most of us can't do that. I happen to be one of the people who can. I can exercise at 10:30 at night, get done at 11:30, get a shower, go to sleep, no problem. But most people can't because your body is revved up with the energy and you can't sleep. So if that's you, don't exercise close to, bedtime, right? You want to try to make the room dark. Most sleep hygienists will tell you that, like, make that room dark. Some of us can't because we're used to sleeping with a little light in the room. And you want to try to make sure it's as quiet as possible, right? If you do it about the same time, do everything about the same time at night, it really does help you create a healthy sleep pattern and sleep routine so that you can get enough rest. And that will also help you tame those negative thoughts, right? And then you also want to take care of your body and mind, right? This is number seven. Take care of your body and mind with good nutrition and exercise. Now, some of us, you get a little nervous, you get stressed, you might be like me, chocolate becomes my best friend, right? And so that means you gotta be sure that manage the chocolate that you're eating, get good nutrition, and then get enough exercise as well, right? You can commit to the exercise, if not every day, 3 to 4 days away, whatever is healthy for you. Okay. And so, if you're struggling with negative thinking and you want to change what you're feeling, you got to take care of mind and body. They both go together because what you feel, you can oftentimes feel it in the body. And there's that mind body connection. So definitely eat healthy, exercise regularly, whatever that is for you, doing whatever you want to. I'm here in Costa Rica, so normally each morning I have no problems getting up, walking out on the beach because it's so beautiful. The sun's coming down and it's very easy to do. When I'm at home, I walk, I box, I have a punchy bag and I also have a speed bag. I have a rowing machine so that I can mix things up. Do you, if it's bowling, if it's swimming, whatever it is that you can do regularly, just do it, right? And we probably already know we need plenty of vegetables, fruit and vegetables, especially leafy green vegetables. Definitely make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day. Try to limit that soda or the juice, and of course, snack on healthy foods. Try to leave those candy bars and potato chips alone, especially if you're like me, you like the potato chips with the chocolate. Yeah, but I do exercise and I kind of minimize it. I really do. And also, you want to limit the processed foods as much as possible because they tend to be pretty high in sugar and sodium anyway. And it's not good for you, and it can lead to things like diabetes, hypertension. It makes stress worse. If you're stressed, you're already secreting the cortisol, you're already secreting adrenaline, and autoimmune diseases are what typically happens if you don't manage your stress, get enough sleep and exercise, and manage the diet. Which then, if you start, looking like a couch potato and you start looking down like I can't fit into my clothes anymore, then it comes even more negative thoughts. So kind of all blends in, right? To manage those negative thoughts. You can actually overcome negative thinking and get more out of life and achieve the success that you want, right? So, you can overcome it, but you gotta follow these, I would say follow these 7 things, right? Because what you learn is you have a tendency to negative think. We all do. It's a human thing, right? But you don't have to continue this way. It's possible by following these 7 steps to think more positively and move forward towards success in all aspects of your life, right? I have something that I do. It's many of you may have read Hal Elrod's The Miracle Morning. Well, I actually have a free PDF that starts you off on the 6 lifesavers. If you like a copy of that to set up consistency and commitment, because we always start small and you can work up big, drop lifesavers in the comments and I will send you that free PDF. It is a great way, to get your meditation or your prayer in, you get your reading in, your affirmations, your visualization, your exercise. If you've been looking at any of my feeds, especially on Facebook, different places, I'm out here walking most mornings. Easy to do me on the beach, I know, but figure out what works for you and do it right. So again, if you want that free way to set up consistency and commitment to exercising each day, spending that time, you know, basically writing and looking at your visualizations and that kind of thing, drop lifesavers in the comments, right? So yes, negative thinking can be one of the biggest obstacles to achieving success in your life, but the good news is it's possible to overcome it. And the 7 ways to do it. Don't be too hard on yourself. Stop beating yourself up over what has happened in the past or past mistakes. Don't be dwelling over what could have been and what could have happened in the past. Learn from it, move on, right? Stay focused on what works now, where you are right here in the now. Create a support system of positive people around you, right? And then get plenty of rest to stay healthy and positive and take care of your mind and your body with good nutrition and exercise. Thanks for joining me here. I'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat place. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.